My name is Faiza Fudlal. I'm an engagement projects manager working for a charity called BME Health Forum, which is a charity advocating health inequality and improving the health and well-being for the BM community across Northwest London.
My name is Łukasz Konietka, my gender pronouns are he, him, and I'm the executive director here at Mosaic LGBT Plus Young Persons Trust. As an organization, we are here to support, educate, and inspire LGBT Plus young persons aged 12 to 18 and 18 to 25.
Yeah, I think it looked like mutual trust, open communication, shared goal, and a sense of respecting each other, and the sense of interdependence where each partner feel valued and empowered, then they can contribute equally and collaborate for achieving benefit for everyone. And then we want to be like, this is an equal partnership. Like, I know everyone got his own expertise, but let us each one acknowledge each one strengths and weaknesses, and then we can work towards achieving success together and celebrate the success together.
So what is really important is that kind of any form of partnership is purposeful in nature. Purposeful for you, obviously you want to conduct a research because you want to get your PhD, right, for instance. So that's your purpose, but it's not my purpose, right, as an organization. So you need to be able to understand what purpose do we have and what is it we are trying to achieve, and make sure that you are speaking from the purpose of the person you're trying to address, right? So we get the requests that are interested in LGBT plus communities. That's a research that looks at LGBT plus stuff, full stop, right? And we get requests that are general research, but they're trying to increase representation of LGBT plus persons. If I'm entirely honest, that is not something that we are that interested in, because for us, that voice of LGBT plus young person will be lost in the whole data that you're going to be producing. There are some organizations that will be happy to take it, but I think it has to be relevant to us as a piece of work that then we can also use. And I think that's quite critical. So is it kind of something that is going to be effective in perhaps lobbying or making a case for additional services? Is there kind of a consideration of post-research impact and post-research effectiveness? And I feel like that is always a post-mortem thought.
I would like them to approach me in an open way and to give me detailed information about the research they're doing, the purpose of the research, how they're going to implement it, and how they're going to evaluate it, and to be like in a very open way, like we both of us like understand what is it about, and involved from the early stage, from the initiation and then planning and then implementation and then evaluation, and understanding the benefit of the public from this research.
When I used to work for local authority, I used to work for Brent Chief Service. My salary was guaranteed. I didn't have to worry about any of the bills. Those were the joyous times. And when we became a charity, it became more and more apparent that we need more evidence of what we do and how we do. And research requests carried on flowing, and we just cannot, because we have to focus on delivery of the services. Because it used to confuse me when I saw for you services. I think I'm going to be very clear and transparent here. They're like, why did that organization not get involved? Right? For me, it was so clear that everyone should be doing it. But now I understand, because really the capacity is so limited. I feel like a lot of the research requests that we receive, they're not worded in a way that makes a lot of sense, because we get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of emails. You get literally 5-10 seconds for us to be like, is this really meaningful? You have to make it about the other person. And I think if you are telling them about that purpose, that what I'm trying to achieve here is to provide evidence about LGBT plus young persons, smoking habits, or whatever it is that you're researching, right? That is quite clear from the very get-go. Like, that's the purpose. You also have to understand the interests of that organization and speak, because you're speaking to the organization, you're not speaking to the community. And I think we understand the impact on community is important, but impact on organization cannot be sidelined.
I think just in general, I think when the researchers are not fully understanding the communities they are researching or the research with, like they are not aware of the language barrier, they don't provide interpretation for the community, just go like that and don't understand them. I don't want to mention specific projects, but there is some example of that. They just go for the community without preparing for what language they are going to speak to the community with, what the literacy and the venue suitable for the community, because sometimes people like local venues, not like traveling, because traveling is expensive and some people they don't afford even to pay for travel. I know sometimes Imperial pay for the travel, but even you pay and then remunerate you is an issue for some people. And see, even child caring responsibility, they don't understand. There are some women, if you are, if, for example, this maternity projects, they need to involve with parents, and then you have to think about how to maybe provide childcare, provide a voucher for the parent to involve, then to give the opportunity, because you shouldn't ignore this kind of needs. And the venue should be like something accessible. People with disability need to have a venue which is accessible for them. And I think their time as well need to be valued, because if you just can't assume these people just waiting for you to come and research them, you have to value their time, their expertise as well, their knowledge and their experience. You have to understand that and actively listen to all these kind of things.
So for us, we have a lot of young persons whom might have accessibility needs, whom are autistic, whom are have got learning difficulties. So for us, it's really important in your research protocol. You are very clear about that you thought out about the needs of participants, about the kind of the safeguarding of those participants, because then kind of reassures us that you're a responsible researcher. Or if you don't know something, do ask, because when you're asking, it shows to us that you actually at least have it in the forefront, that there might be people who might have additional needs. The biggest issue that I have with kind of research that's taking place is that we don't hear back and we don't get this data back. And I think this is the biggest harm we can do to organizations, because as I said, this work, additional effort that goes into facilitating your research is not funded. We're constantly under pressure to provide impact reporting, right? So if you can structure your research in a way that actually provides that, if you structure it in a way that, like, even if you do, I don't know, drug use amongst LGBT plus young persons, right? Fine. Have a conversation about drug use amongst the LGBT plus young persons. That is important. But throw in one question about, have you discussed it within this organization? Has this been helpful? Do you feel like you're being supported here? Do you feel like you can trust anyone here? Any of those questions would be impactful for us. If you are asking third sector organizations to do it, help them to prove their impact that they are having on the community.
I think having a strong sense of purpose and values, this is going to help a lot, because you can just do a research and just run away. And then I think doing your own research, because even the researcher, before they come and approach any community, I think they should do their own research to understand what the community they're approaching, what their issue are, what their priority are. This will help so much to build the relationship and make things make easier. And then be respectful and responsive to the community, because you need to understand their needs. You need to accept and acknowledge their contribution, their experience, their expertise. This is all help building relationship. And I think you need to involve them from the early stage, from the whole process. It's not like just in one process from the start, like even identifying the problem, maybe planning, maybe implementation, and then evaluation, and then celebrate the success together, because it's not only about one party who's done that. Both we are equal parties, and we should celebrate our success together and give feedback to each other. Coming back to the community with update and feedback help, because the community need to understand what's gone with that research. Coming back to them and giving them like a feedback or update, this is what happened with the research you involve in, will help sustain as well, because they can appreciate that and seeing they appreciate us and they value us as well as a partner, because it's not only about just coming and taking the information and just run. You value us, and then you come back and you give us the feedback and the update about the projects, and that helps sustain the relationship.